Welcome back to the CUBE studio, coming to you here from the New York Stock Exchange. This is AI Factories, one of our segments with NYSE Wired. And joining me now is Felix Ejeckam, CEO and co-founder at Akash Systems. Welcome, Felix.
Welcome. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So it's a very wet day here in New York, Felix. I hope you have better weather where you are right now in California.
We do. It's a little bit warmer here and drier in San Francisco.
Well, that's good. So, to start, maybe if you can take me through an explainer of Akash Systems, break down what exactly is GAN on Diamond for a smart high schooler.
Sure. So Akash Systems is a deep tech company based in the Bay Area that has solved the heat problem in data centers and AI. Your listeners have probably heard untold stories of the challenges with the limited supply of energy in the data center world. And not only is the limited supply of energy a problem, but also the efficient use of that energy is a major challenge. At Akash Systems, what we have done is use the world's most thermally conductive material, diamond, to solve that problem so that existing users and new users can efficiently use their energy for their needs in compute.
Wow.
So more specifically, yeah, go ahead.
And I believe that this company has had, I guess, a starter use case and somewhat of a shift in terms of the roadmap, right, on its kind of broader application. Talk to me a little bit about that. You started kind of in the space field.
Yes.
And now have had a pivot. What
Correct.
That?
Yes, that is correct. So we started using diamond cooling, which is the name of our technology, in space. We have been making satellite radios for the use in telecommunications in space. And as of last year, we have half a dozen satellites in orbit, and they're still operational today. And it was 2 years ago when we realized, wait a minute, if we can address the heat problem in space, which is a more challenging environment, then we can definitely address it on land, on the Earth. And that's what we proceeded to do. And so today we take diamonds, synthetic diamond, lab-grown diamonds, and we apply it to the GPU in a server. The GPU is the hottest chip in a typical server, and that brings the temperature down. The application of the diamond brings it down by 10, 15 degrees Celsius. That then leads to opportunities. The fact that you don't need as much power to cool down that server, we take that extra power and we can give it to the operator either in savings or in additional compute that you can fill back into that data center. And typically speaking, we're talking about $1 million is how much our technology gives to every operator of a server, per server.
Wow. Wow, those are interesting margins. And talk me about the recipient of that value. Like, what is a typical buyer use case scenario? Like, where talk me through a tactical example, I guess, of how this is used.
Sure. There are three markets that we sell into. The first is the AI inference company, the company that's either training models or carrying out the inference work. A lot of the neo clouds fall into this category. A lot of the big tech companies that you know about fall into this group. The second market is the data center market. So these are folks who buy servers and operate these servers for their customers. The third is the cloud service provider. These are folks who sell time on their GPU. This is a little bit of the rent a GPU model. And so these three markets are the folks who buy our servers, and these are diamond cool servers, and they would be the recipients of the $1 million per server that I just described.
I mean, those each individually are monstrous markets, right? In terms of, the overall market value and also what's happening right now in this kind of tech revolution that we're on the cusp of, if not in the midst of. So let's start with inference, because that's an interesting topic. And we, on this AI Factories show, obviously we have the big incumbents, right? We don't need to name them, or the one. We don't need to name them or him. But we have a lot of folks coming in who are very enthusiastic about the opportunity to make ground, as a GPU provider in the inference era. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what are you seeing from the perspective of competitive dynamics?
Competitive dynamics, to be very frank, we don't see a lot of competitors in our space for what we do. The innovation in this world has been fairly limited in recent years. The number of companies offering servers has been approximately the same over the last decade. Our technology, our company, is the first new entrance in a very long time. And so it's a little bit of a revolution. Yesterday, we introduced, for the first time, the world's first diamond-cooled server using an AMD chip. No one has ever done that before, and so we're very excited about that. We think that that bodes well for the stack. It'll help the market accelerate growth. It brings a lot of new parties into the fray because there are a lot of companies that need to address this heat problem for them to serve their clients. A lot of companies have fixed supply of energy to their data center. We help them bring in the revenue from 2027, 2028 into 2026 because we're giving them efficient use of their electricity.
And the data center space, which is again, I mean, a hotly controversial and well conversed market, we hear a lot about the hyperscaler debate, what's happening in that space broadly. Some of the challenges we're also seeing here, even in terms of the AI war, right, or the race to the top for AI from the perspective of even just this week, we had some interesting news around, some big tech titans in the White House talking about energy costs and protecting consumers, etc. So it seems as though the space you're in, it's a hot space, right, and it's definitely extremely futuristic. Talk to me about, what you're seeing from the perspective of challenges that your customers are facing. Like, is it energy? Is it compute capacity? Is it, generic constraint here in the US?
Gemma, it is ultimately energy. The compute problem is an energy problem. There is a fixed supply of energy in the world. And so there is a mad rush to go and grab that energy and make the best of it. What we offer plays right into that story. We're saying to participants in the marketplace, you've got a fixed amount of energy for your data center, a megawatt, a gigawatt, whatever. Rather than go build another gigawatt plant, how about we help you double the capacity in that existing infrastructure? So we will let you double your compute, for example, using our diamond cooled technology. So I think your points are exactly correct. There is limited supply and limited use of energy in the world, in data centers in particular, and it is incumbent upon companies like us to try and enable the actors in the space to use their energy as efficiently as possible. And that's what diamond cooling is all about.
So companies based in California, I think you mentioned off camera you're at about 25 people, so relatively lean, which seems to be the norm actually in this current era we're in, right? Talk to me a little bit about the geographical distribution. This is obviously a very global space though, right? Data centers and the kind of broader picture in the space has a lot of supply constraint challenges the world over. How are you thinking about that? How are you approaching it?
So we are largely California based, although that will change in the coming year. As you may know, we announced a new deal with our partners AMD and MiTAC Computing for a $300 million contract to support data centers in the market with our diamond cooled servers and using AMD's chip, the intrinsic 350, and MiTAC Computing's abilities to make assemblies. We're going to be doing this across California, which is where we operate. Initially, we're serving largely clients in North America. We do anticipate that that will grow in the years ahead. But we're largely Bay Area focused. The problem, however, is global, absolutely is global. And that's a problem of limited resources, energy, limited water, and the like. So yeah, it is a very significant problem that we see all over the world. Let me say that a week ago, we announced release of an Nvidia-based server, again, another diamond-cooled server. This is the H200, and that was for a customer in India.
Wow.
So we have been receiving inbound requests from all over the globe.
And what's the sales cycle like, Felix? How long is it from conversation to to sell for an industry and a market like this? I assume it's moving much faster than it was.
It's a lot faster than even just 2 years ago. We see cycles that spanned 60 days, but it can also go as long as 90 days, 9 months, forgive me. So it is still fairly lengthy, but today it is a lot shorter than it was, let's say, 2 years ago from what we see from the inbounds requests that we're getting from customers.
So you've raised 60 million to date. You've had a Series B, which closed quite recently?
Yes, we closed a Series B last summer. Our leading investors in the company are Khosla Ventures and Founders Fund. We have a host of other investors, institutionals in the company, and we're very excited. We have the capital that we need to scale, which is our focus this year.
And you mentioned some kind of geographical opportunity perhaps ahead, but what's on the broader roadmap for the next kind of 12 months?
The broader roadmap, Gemma, is scaling, and then we're going to be adding more SKUs, doing more with our partners at AMD and Nvidia. They, as you know, have a lot of different GPUs. We're going to be cooling all of them with our diamond cooling technology. Of course, we have our partnerships with the OEMs, with in particular MiTAC Computing, which is going to deepen as we scale over the course of the coming year.
Great. So we mentioned off camera that we're both heading to San Jose the week after next to Nvidia GTC.
Absolutely.
They're obviously a huge player in the industry. Talk to me a little bit about the collegiality in the space right now.
I'm sorry, the what?
Sorry, the collegiality, the community, the, I guess, partnership and friendships that are forming across an industry that is so hotly competitive.
This is an industry where I like to use the word frenemies. There are no enemies. There are no besties. There are just frenemies and folks with common interests. And that's what we've seen. We've seen this before in the other industries that we came from. But here in particular, there's definitely a very good camaraderie amongst all of the participants. And the simple reason is that the opportunity for all of us is so big. It's much greater than the capacity or the capability of any one company. And so it is incumbent upon all of us to work together to try to fulfill that need.
And lastly, talk a little bit about the R&D cycle. So we talked about very, very fast sales cycles. Things are happening so quickly. It's very reactive because it needs to be right to meet market demand. On the R&D side, though, it's also highly complex. How do those two challenges meet?
Yeah, it's complex, but you hit the nail on the head. You not only have to solve difficult problems in R&D in this industry, you have to do it rapidly because new product cycles are coming online rapidly from everyone in the ecosystem, and we have to keep pace with that, and in many instances get ahead of it. It's one of the reasons we stay lean. It's a lot easier to go faster than not if you are smaller. If you have a very large R&D team, then it's more difficult to get everyone aligned. So you do have to innovate rapidly, and the pace that I see today is unlike anything I've ever seen in my career. It's definitely fast.
So lean team of 25 people, but when you are hiring, what are you hiring for? What kind of culture are you building at Akash?
Gemma, we're hiring right now. We're looking for people. We're looking for engineers. We're looking for R&D folks. We're looking for manufacturing folks. We're looking for folks in the back office. And just we're looking for talent wherever we can find them. There's definitely limited supply of talent in the Bay Area, but we're scaling and we're finding the right people that we need. As I said, engineering for both R&D and manufacturing.
Well, Felix, wonderful to chat to you. Fascinating company, fascinating space. Hopefully, maybe catch you in San Jose in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Gemma. I'm sure I'll see you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming on theCUBE.
Thank you. Take care.
I'm Gemma Allen, coming to you from the CUBE studio here at the New York Stock Exchange. This is AI Factories, one of our programs with NYSE Wired. Thanks so much for watching.